We're live, we're live.
Okay, so here we go. That wait for that sixth wicket. That wait for that sixth wicket was agonizing.
So long.
But just at the stroke of lunch, Washington Sundar trapping Ben Stokes, LBW. Gargi and I were walking out, and she says to me, Stokes wicket bigger. And we said Jadeja. And it wasn't Jadeja. The over finished off, by the way. And I said, she said, so it's done. I said, no, it's still half a minute left. India got another over. 2:30 dot that over started, not 29. And that's when Washington Sundar trapping Ben Stokes LBW opens the game. Opens the game.
Opens. This is India's game now.
100%
You've got to get
India's
three
game.
wickets. You're into the tail now. You're into the tail. You break that partnership, or don't let a partnership form between Chris Stokes will come in now, right?
Yeah.
Chris Stokes is easy, I think. At this point, there'll be too much pressure.
You've got enough going for you. The spinner is getting the ball to come in.
Purchase, yeah.
The offie will also get the ball, a little bit of rough outside. All recognized batsmen gone. Jamie Smith is the only one remaining. And Jamie Smith today against that Akash Deep over, how on earth did he survive? Akash Deep was getting the ball. What was it? Off cutter? What was it? Ball was just boom,
Zapping.
boom, boom.
It was
One of the
zapping,
best
yeah.
spells of fast bowling, that quick bowling,
100%.
seam bowling, swing bowling that we can see.
You know what? All of us, because it was a late start, by the time the game started is usually when we have our lunch. And, any other day we would be super hungry. We would come back from our live.
Nobody.
I swear to God, me and Trisha, who yap at each other all day long, were just sitting there and watching the game because Akash Deep was doing so much. And then quietly Trisha goes, she looks at me and goes, notice how none of us are hungry? Said yes, because this Akash Deep spitting fire. And you look at the presence of mind of Akash Deep. To Ben Stokes, he will go behind the umpire. He will come running in a straight line and then go past the umpire and then bowl. Who was the other batter that Ollie Pope?
Ollie Pope and Harry Brook.
To Ollie Pope, he would go wider off the crease and try to nip it away from the batter. So you see how much variations. Even Prasidh Krishna
bowled very well.
And there were times when he would bowl one variation after the other. He also tried that wobble seam as well. And what a brilliant performance from Akash Deep.
Akash Deep to that Ollie Pope ball or that Harry Brook ball. That Harry Brook ball was unbelievable. It kind of pitched on sixth and it came back like, oh. And you can keep seeing that delivery from Akash Deep to Harry Brook. Brook had no idea that how could that ball come in so much and hit him on the pad. Yes, it was an umpire's call, but India would want that. Absolutely stunning spell from Akash Deep today. He was really unlucky not to get Jamie Smith out. That over to Jamie Smith, he was also laughing. He was getting it in, sliced Jamie Smith into half multiple times, not once. Tremendous spell. Maybe I would say the only thing, after about 3 overs of Prasidh, I would have gone to Siraj a little early.
Yes. I kept saying that.
Maybe that's something that Shubman Gill could have done, but you don't fault India for the intensity. India was on song. I mean, you could see the body language, players chatting with each other, Pant going up to Shubman Gill at the end of every over. Siraj was rotating ends in the sense, every time Akash Deep was bowling, he was at mid of that side. Prasidh was bowling, he was at mid on this side. Tremendous stuff.
And you look at that man is smoking a cigarette and all his tobacco is flying over.
They're actually passive smoking.
No, because he has that hand rolled one, so it's flowing from the other end. It's falling out from the other end.
I don't like this tobacco smell one bit.
Okay, so the point I was making was that Akash Deep spell, now that we talk about, it's in hindsight. Look, let's be very honest, it's in hindsight. And at that point also we were saying that Siraj should have been brought out early on. But Akash Deep was bowling so well, you couldn't take him off. I think they thought that
No.
maybe if you give Akash a few more overs, he might just get you one other wicket because Prasidh Krishna was actually putting a lot of pressure from the other end. There were loose deliveries from Prasidh Krishna, but he handled it very, very well.
Akash Deep bowled a full hour. Akash Deep bowled a longish spell, deservedly so. Deservingly so, because he was getting the ball to
You know
move,
what?
nip, jack back. Difficult
Yes.
yesterday to keep the run up. Fantastic spell. Fantastic spell from Akash.
And you know what? At the end, let's talk about Jadeja also a little bit because his pace in bowling, as in how quickly he finished
That's
his
what I
overs,
said. That's what I said. You
helped
said, is
Washington
it done?
Sundar
Correct.
get
Because
that
you know,
over.
I got up from my seat.
We got up at the
2:27.
same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were in the elevator coming down.
Yeah.
It was 2:27. Jadeja finished that over in 2 minutes. He started that over at 2:27. He finished that over at 2:29. Had it been the stroke of 2:30, the umpires would have called lunch.
Yes.
Because it was 2:29.
Because of
And
Jadeja.
And because of Jadeja, Washington Sundar started running towards the umpire and they got one more over. And that's what cricket is, boss. It is one ball. I keep
And-
telling her, 7 balls is what India needed. You've got 3 balls. All you now need is 4 more. And now you're into that tail. Josh Tongue and Shoaib Bashir won't survive. Josh Tongue and Shoaib Bashir will absolutely not survive. You're talking about 2 more. Chris Wokes and Bryden Cass. And that's it. England is done. The moment you get to 8, you won this game. Will it in this session or can England prolong it? India's more or less certain. Unless a miraculous rearguard action happens, India still has a new ball for 15-20 overs at the end. The 2 spinners will bowl in tandem and give them that new ball time also. I don't think we will have to wait till that. Post lunch, they'll come with one more burst. Akash will come, pitch it up, and get Chris Wokes to drive.
And
India's
remember, you also have a Nitish Kumar Reddy who can.
game. Yeah.
You can also get a Nitish Kumar Reddy to sort of come in at this point if you want to give. No, I know. I'm just saying you have options. You have options there. It's not as if let's say for some time Ravindra Jadeja and a Washington Sundar do not get wickets. I'm not banking on that because they will. Chris Wokes, I think, will be the next person because Jamie Smith is now settled. Now it's about sort of focusing on the other end. Jamie Smith will not get out easily. He plays spin very brilliantly. Now it's time to target Chris Wokes and get that wicket. And I think this session will be very, very crucial. We say that every session.
They'll finish it.
They'll finish it.
Because
And-
the
and
moment you get Wokes,
Yeah.
you are into that tail. A Bryden Cars, a Josh Tongue, and a Shoaib Bashir. Don't resist. I mean, you will get that match in control because India has it done. Post lunch, you start with Akash again, give him a 4-5 over burst, pitch it up. The way he was getting the ball to move, if he gets a little bit of swing, pitch it up, keep 3-4 slips, keep 1 gully, let Chris Wokes drive. And if the ball breaks at the last instant, like it was doing, he was getting it in, getting it to go out, the slips will come into play.
Absolutely.
That Ben Stokes wicket has completely changed
And-
the dynamic of that session.
Ben Stokes looked completely clueless against Ravindra Jadeja. What was he doing?
He could have given it many times.
Yeah, he was going back. He was moving around the trees. He did
That
not
fell
have.
right just a little bit in front of Shubman.
Ben
So-
Stokes had no idea what to do. He was looking absolutely clueless. And when he was doing that little dance on the crease for some reason, and we came out and I said, "Is there one more over left?" And I said, we should watch this one and then go. And I said, the way that Ben Stokes is playing right now, he's going to give the wicket away.
Yeah. She said Ben Stokes will wicket dega. Jadeja ko wicket dega. It was the other end. Doesn't matter as long as India gets that.
Wicket Diana. That's
Wicket
all.
100% diya usne. 6 down, almost
Sunny
there.
Singh is saying roller taken, England is done. Roll to karenge.
नहीं वो तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है भाई क्या फर्क पड़ता है now you are in there you've got 55 overs to go 4 wickets left you in the 25 overs that you've bowled you've picked 3 of their premier batters you've got a Harry Brook you've got an Ollie Pope and you've also the captain Ben Stokes. You are into the lower middle order and then one more and you're into the tail. An absolutely magical victory now seems very possible. I will, if it happens, I will rate it as high as the
Gabba.
Gabba. As high as the Gabba. In the absence of Jasprit Bumrah, without Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, in the absence of these guys, no Jasprit Bumrah, you come to Fortress Edgbaston and you breach that. Shubman Gill's stature as captain will go up 10 notches. The partnership between Gill and Pant will become a solid one. All of a sudden, Lords becomes one of the most important test matches. That slope.
Yeah.
And by the way, if Akash can get that ball to move like this here, imagine what he will do with the Lord's slope. Mohammad Siraj, Akash Deep and Jasprit Bumrah using that Lord's slope alongside a Ravindra Jadeja. You have to say India is giving themselves a very realistic chance
Who is
this
this
series.
man walking in? Everyone's taking pictures with him.
Oh, it's Ian Ward from
Oh.
Sky. He's he hosts the Sky shows.
Okay. Kudos to, where did he go? Someone was saying kudos to Ravindra Jadeja. Oh, hats off to Jadeja for running through the overs so quickly, which gave Washi the opportunity to bowl that all-important Aniruddha Bhaturi. And I kept telling Korea on the way down, we need one more. We need one more. There should have been one more wicket in this session. And finally, India got it in the final over.
And you know what happens again? The momentum is with India. Because at the
Absolutely,
stroke of lunch, you got that. You got the captain, and automatically the momentum swings towards you. Because you now start to believe that the whole batting is done. You know 4 wickets. You recalibrate. The coaching staff weighs in. Strategic planning takes place. You know, you can smell the coffee. You can smell that coffee now. And you know one more and you're into bride and cast. And the last 2, Josh Tongue and Shoaib Bashir, wouldn't resist much. So 2 more and you know this game is yours. India will believe, start to believe big time.
Johnny Rao is saying Akash is a star. Akash on. Absolutely. Where were you hiding?
Mohammad Shami reminds us all
Yes.
about Mohammad Shami getting that ball to move, idolizes Mohammad Shami. All Bengal pace attack could have been a reality with Mukesh, Akash and Mohammad Shami. That could have also, bless you, Mukesh, Akash and Mohammad Shami could have well been a reality here. But the big point, in the absence of a Jasprit Bumrah, who too will now start to feel, hey, these guys have stepped up. If I can step up once again at Lords and lead this bowling attack, a Bumrah, Siraj and Akash Deep turn an absolute handful for England. This test match could change so many things for so many people. For Gautam Gambhir, for Shubman Gill, for all of these guys, the young guys, the captain, Rishabh Pant, the vice captain, the kind of conversations that were going on between Pant and Gill. And you could see every time there's something and Pant would go and start talking to Gill, put fielding positions in place. The moment there was a deep there and Pant said, "Nahi, andar." So you could sense India was on the prowl. And they got their man.
And
that
you know
Ben
what?
Stokes wicket was so important.
The conversations, because you talk about conversations and the discussion and the support within the team, it's looking like a very unified India. And the other thing is, notice the next time you watch an Akash Deep or a Prasidh Krishna bowl, notice that Mohammad Siraj will always be at mid-on.
I said that.
Yeah.
That was the point. That and either end,
Yes.
you will change there, go and stand there.
Shubman will be on mid-off and Mohammad Siraj will be on mid-on, constantly talking to the bowlers.
If Shubman is at slip, you will inevitably see Siraj talking. And if Shubman is not at slip, you will see Shubman talking. If India wins, what is your biggest takeaway? What is your biggest takeaway?
Oh, 1, you can do it without Bumrah. 2, your top order is very, very good in English conditions against the new ball.
Good batting deck, but I take that point
No,
and
but
I'll
even
actually...
in Leeds as well.
Yeah, again, good batting conditions because so many runs, 1800 plus runs or whatever, 1600, 1700 runs were scored at either.
You don't drop an Akash Deep in the next match or
Done.
in any other matches.
I will take that point of Bumrah and I'll make this larger point. This sport is not about superstar culture. This is a team winning. This is not a Bumrah winning, not a Kohli winning, not a Sharma winning. This is a team winning this game. A team of Siraj, of Prasidh, of Akash, of Jadeja and of Sundar. Their brand value cumulatively is not even half of some of the superstars we talk about. It is not about superstar culture in red ball cricket. It is about collective belief. It is about the desire to win. It is about wanting to be out there and being a part of the action. I think people will now see that this is what team sport is all about. It is not about your superstars. It is about the team belief. I think Gautam Gambhir too will be a lot empowered. So the point that she was making about no Jasprit Bumrah, India will start to believe that it's not about one player. Never was. I've said this to you about Kohli. No Kohli, no Tendulkar, nobody is ever bigger than this game. And this game will go down in history if India wins as one of the biggest proofs of that.
There are a few questions here. Let's take them.
Yeah.
Good decision by Gill to not take the review. Actually, it was I was listening to the radio, and I was hearing the stump mic. It was Rishabh Pant who kept on saying, "Aakhri wala hai, mat lo." Last ek hi bacha hai, nahi karte. Ek hi bacha hai, nahi karte. And thankfully, he convinced that because there was
the next ball he got out.
Yeah, that. If India win, my takeaway will be Gill batting with his fluency.
You know, that has been an absolute masterclass. Like I told you, like I told you, Saurav Ganguly on his way back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love it when you do the Sachin Tendulkar insights.
Yeah. I will speak to him in London, so you will get more. You'll get more. So, you know, the point is very simple. The point from here is India believed. The intensity was for all of us to see. Shubman Gill's batting masterclass, the question that Gargi said, whose question was it? Somebody, whoever asked that question. Shubman Gill's batting masterclass, Saurav Ganguly said it brilliantly. He said, I've tweeted also, he said, it is the best batting display that I have seen in my 30 years of watching cricket in this country. He's played under, you know, he's been coming here, living here, played counties, played for India, captained India, stayed here. Shubman Gill has taken batting to a very different level. Sunny Bhai was saying this as well, that it is one of the best batting displays that you will see. And now, because this guy has scored so many runs, and if India wins from here, his cap
was there, yes, of course. But again, coming back to Shubman Gill and the captaincy that we keep talking about, the point here is in the build-up of the series, so much was said about Shubman Gill's captaincy. How was he made captain? Was it based on potential?
Captaincy batting 35 average?
Exactly. आप कैसे बना रहे हो Shubman Gill को captain when he only averages this much in Sena countries? But now he silenced his critics in the worst way possible.
In the best way possible.
No.
For the critics.
Yes. Okay. We have a super chat. One second. Ashish Punna again. You are right. We should be able to finish the match before tea. Ordering some food for dinner in a bit. Anticipating a big celebration before 9:30 p.m. This win would be super special for all Indian cricket lovers.
Absolutely right, Ashish. Absolutely right. It will be one of the best wins. If you think of India's overseas wins, 1971 Oval, 1981 Australia, Melbourne, Kapil Dev, 86 here, not in this interview, but 86. In the 90s, not really. 2002, yes, under Ganguly, the Headingley one. 2004, Adelaide. These are big wins, and more recently, of course, the Melbourne 2020 win. And wow, look at that rat.
Big one, huh?
Wow.
That's a big one.
Yeah, 2020 Melbourne, and of course, Gabba. This will rank as high as any of India's best overseas victories. Leeds, after losing that game, heartbreak when you put on 300. Absolute heartbreak when you've played that game so well for almost 4.5 days. To lose that was a real heartbreak. Then to come to Edgbaston, regroup, knowing that there is no Jasprit Bumrah, and then to be able to deliver like this, scoring 1,000. How much did India score? 1,000 runs.
1,000 runs.
absolutely unbelievable. You scored 1,000 runs in this test match. You've scored 800 in Leeds. You have an average of 450 per innings in this series. Stunning,
yeah.
stunning stuff.
I think we should wrap up the show in the next 5 minutes
Yeah,
because the
yeah,
game
yeah.
will start at 1:10 locally. Okay, all right.
310.
3:10, sorry, my bad. I am completely confused because you're thinking about India time, you're also thinking about local time, which has now changed. So, anyway, Web of Taragi saying, interestingly, flag bearer of pass ball, Benjamin Stokes, scored with a 45 strike rate. Man, time is powerful.
We had said this,
Ben
didn't we?
Stokes has a lot to answer for. A lot.
You know, he's repeatedly, and this is a point that you win the toss, you put India in, India scores 1,000 against you, 600 and 400. Your team has been under the pump from day one. At no point in time have you been able to control this game. At no point in time have you been able to go on the ascendancy on a venue, where it has all been England. 7 times England. Ben Stokes in this particular series has been completely off color. And had this been India, think about it. Had Shubman Gill put England in and considered this, a kangaroo court, 10 kangaroo courts, social media would be on an uproar. There would be castigation of Shubman Gill and Gautam Gambhir going on by now. Speaking, I am pretty sure the English media will have a lot of questions to ask of Ben Stokes, including his toss decisions. That I will chase anything.
That is the biggest question. Okay, you want to chase anything. How do you explain the approach that the English batters had on day 2 last session? What was going on there?
Stupid approach. That reeked of arrogance. That reeked of arrogance when England came out, when you have an hour to bat off and you come out all guns blazing, Zach Crawley, and there you give that wicket and Ben Duckett, and thereafter India takes 3. That's when Ollie Pope and India takes complete control. But to wrap up, as Gargi said, we will wrap up in a couple of... No more questions?
No.
We will wrap up in a couple more minutes. The fact of the matter is today, it's not really morning, it's 3 p.m. Welcome to Akash Deep. He started it, Deep is also here. These guys are bad guys, you know. They do bad things, only smoke and... Come on. So Akash Deep genuinely lit up the morning in Edgbaston. By the way, let's give a quick update on the weather that it's all fine.
The weather it's bright and shiny. What's going on? There's nothing to talk about when it comes to the weather because